Nakore Apparel is a lifestyle brand inspired by and created for those who unabashedly seek, speak, and live in truth. Nakore is the African Adinkra symbol for truthfulness, and the clothes speak truth in all its forms with the ultimate aim of love and justice. If you're down to expand the culture, break barriers, and eradicate injustice wherever you find it, then Nakore Apparel is the brand for you. Go to NakoreApparel.com. That's N-O-K-O-R-E Apparel.com.
Nakore, apparel for truth tellers.
Tuned in to the Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts Podcast.
Yo, what is going on? This is DJ Brainstorm on the mic with you right now, coming to you live and direct with episode number 316 of the Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts Podcast. The DMST Podcast is back.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody tuned in right now on a Sunday evening on YouTube. Everybody tuning in throughout the week on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, the TuneIn Radio app, iHeartRadio, all them shits, Nobushka. Anywhere, wherever, however you get your podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in this week. Ulysses, how you feeling?
Blessed, healthy, and wealthy per usual. Feeling great.
Playboy, how you feeling?
Nigga tired. No, I was playing with a DJ, man. Play with DJ. Another show, another week, man. Let's get it.
Dev, how you feeling?
Man, I'm all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Ready to get the show started. Let's go ahead and get it done. How you feeling, man?
I think everybody in this room is tired. I mean, I'm just being. It's with it, everybody's had a long past month or so. I know y'all have had other stuff going on with this week, with personal stuff. But this week was things going on and things y'all had to do. It's just been a long week. Some weeks are just, I always say that some weeks are longer than others. And so I think everybody's tired. But with that being said, Ulysses, how was your week?
Week was cool. Had 2 shows this week, actually 3. Tuesday I had a show, whatever, and then Friday I had my comedy and lingerie show. And then, of course, pot of R&B yesterday. So week was crazy, but it was good.
Yeah. Shout out to you real quick. Yeah. I know we got to go through the intros, but shout out to you real quick for the comedy and lingerie. It was a nicely put together event for real. Yeah. It was just, you did your thing. You had the vendors in there. You had 8 other comedians outside of you and the other person that kind of co-hosted with you. So 8 other comedians. You had the videographer there. He had his thing with the lights and everything. You had the food.
The mobile bartenders.
Yeah, mobile bartending. Everything. So, you put it together, man. So, shout out to you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was dope.
Shout out to you for the payment, too. it was much appreciated. You know what I'm saying? When that Cash App hit, you know what I'm saying? It was, hey. But no.
Listen,
it was.
I can't talk on the payment because I was just like sitting there like,
Yeah, but seriously though, it was good comedians. It was a good time. It's always good to have an event that's a different theme. Something different from the norm, and same thing like we talk about with Pod and R&B.
Oh, for sure.
Where it's like, we can spend $10 or $20 and go out to the bar and grab some drinks, or you can spend that same $10 or $20 and go to an event that's something different. And have a good time, And
I want to, if, they tuned in or whatever, I want to thank all the comedians and vendors and people who help, execute the show. Definitely the videographer, Freddie Bryant. I don't know why I want to call him Freddie Banks. Freddie Bryant, dope videographer. Alonzo and his partner bartending, and, Pearl cooking the food. It was just a great event. I probably won't do another comedy and lingerie show for a while, though. Because I just realized how awkward it is to ask somebody to come see you perform naked. So, yeah.
It was dope, man.
Yeah, it was honestly a good time. It really was. So shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
Playboy, how was your week?
My week, it's been busy, man. It's just that's the only way I can really put it. It's just been busy. You talking about being tired and just kind of. I'm thinking more like mentally, emotionally tired, which is causing me to be physically tired. You know what I mean? Like
It's all the same.
yeah, it's all the same. But it's been a long week, man. I've been going, since Sunday, man. Since I left here Sunday, and just everything that's been going on, it's very challenging. But you know how we do. We'll keep it moving, man.
Fatigue is fatigue, no matter what.
Yeah.
If it's physical fatigue, if it's mental fatigue. I mean, fatigue is fatigue, and then the mental does play a part in the physical aspect of things. So fatigue is fatigue. So if you're tired, you're tired.
Yeah.
And that's why people talk about the people who are like maybe don't do as much with their job, like you're not as physical, like maybe you ain't a construction worker or whatever. They figure you ain't gonna be that tired, but you still got to sit and you got to process stuff all day long. You got to think, you got to handle this situation, you got to take care of this situation. It's all the same thing. And if you're not just sitting at home on your ass all day watching TV, eating chicken or something, I mean, you're gonna get tired. Yeah, fuck that, man. The air fried chicken is good. You're trying to be funny right now, but the air fried chicken is good, man. Dev, how was your week?
I mean, it's cool, man. It's a cool week, man. It is what it is. Life is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
like I've been saying.
How was your week, Brainstorm?
It was cool. We out here trying to find a house so we can get out of our place now. We need space and stuff like that. So doing things like that and little things here and there.
Ooh,
But
that house hunt gonna be serious.
I mean, we're not buying right now. We're just looking for a place to rent for about a year or so. That ain't even easy right now.
That's what I'm saying.
it's better than buying.
It's better than buying, but it feels like it sucks when you got to stay in the city right now. Because for school purposes, we got to stay there, and it's just like it seems like it's more available to buy right now. But of course, the process would be 10 times easier to rent. But it's just people that are renting, they know they got the upper hand too, so they got you by the balls too. So it's just they overcharging and you don't. It's
You
a lot
caught
of
by the
stuff.
balls?
You know what I mean? It's a saying. It's a saying. Yeah, don't see. It's a saying. But
Tell
yeah,
for Alicia.
yeah, little stuff like that. But that's about it though.
Somebody got your man balls.
We was on good terms today. We was on good terms.
Let's go ahead and get this spiral going.
Let's go ahead. Thank you to the people that pulled up to Pod and R&B yesterday.
Yes.
We always say that it's whenever people pull up, it's going to be good conversation. So shout out to y'all for sparking a conversation. It was what we always do. We pick good songs. People enjoy the songs that we do, and people enjoy the conversation. So shout out to y'all for that too. Definitely.
They got a little touchy last night though.
Who?
Just the conversations. Men versus women. Got a little touchy.
Well, I actually I enjoyed. I said it last night. I know we're gonna have these. I guess special ones. You know what I'm saying? Like our next one is gonna be pretty dope. But I kind of enjoy the smaller crowd.
The intimacy of it.
I do, man.
Yeah.
It lends to more conversation. I feel like more people end up talking and interacting. You know what I'm saying? Like you get a lot of people. It tends to fall into like. The vocal people tend to be the people who are more comfortable being vocal. You know what I mean? Like we'll have podcasters that come to our shit, so they'll say more. But like in this setting, if you got 10, 15 people in the room, you know what I mean? You get people are more engaged in the convo. I actually like that, man. My brain is working on like maybe a few bucks more, but a few less people. And once it's done, it's done. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to provide as much. We don't have to just get a, pan full of fucking chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like we can cut back on the shit we purchase, a bottle or two, a tray of sandwiches. That's it. One case of water. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we have a conversation with some people and have some more intimate setting. I actually like that. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. I enjoy being able to like have, because that's what it is. It's really a podcast with a bunch of people with music involved. When you got 40 motherfuckers in the room, it starts to turn into a show. You know what I'm saying? But I actually liked the conversation piece of it last night. I really did. So,
Yeah,
Well,
it was dope.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, we already said that we're targeting, I guess it's October 14th. That'd be a Friday. Because I think the 15th is a Saturday. So we're targeting October 14th. So we want to do a Sweetest Day edition of Pod and R&B. Are we officially calling it the Sets Tape?
Yeah, sex tape and lingerie, or what we calling it?
something like that. We can kind of figure it out.
Yeah. So, I mean, more information to be coming for it, but I mean, it's going to be obviously themed. It's going to be a special theme for it on the 14th of October. So it'll be a good time. It'll kind of, I guess, mirror like the previous one where we had a theme. But that one was Jodeci and Drew Hill. So this one will be a little bit, the vibe check. So it'll be kind of a theme with this one. But October 14th, so we hope that y'all will pull up and
somebody will be pregnant by the end of that flight.
It's a good chance. It's a good chance. There's a few rooms in there. Kim is locking them rooms now. She got lots of them doors now. But it's a few rooms in there.
It's a few boom rooms in there.
It's a couple. Man.
For rent, because she bought her money.
you can dip off real quick, but we was talking about it yesterday. I didn't know it was a whole ass store. Like a few doors down from there.
It is.
They sell cigars and stuff in there. They got the water and the juices and stuff. We've been getting in the car, driving to places.
Dropping all your vine.
I didn't know until yesterday. It was a whole ass store right there.
You walking to it, I'm thinking like, what are you walking down there for?
It's like 2 or 3 doors down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a store?
It's a store.
Oh,
okay. I think it's that space called the tobacco shop or something like that because they sell cigars and
ice,
whatever
all
else.
that stuff.
Yeah, but I'm like, we've been getting in the car, driving.
They sell ice down there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
ain't smoking no fucking tobacco. So I ain't paying no attention to that shit.
I didn't even know it was there.
Store, though.
Yeah, I didn't notice
that because I was gonna buy y'all a cigar, and I'm like,
hey,
you ain't gonna do nothing with no cigar. It's just for the show. It's just for the show.
Maybe. We don't get into that. I don't see the point. That's a whole different conversation.
To be honest, cigars are kind of like when people smoke hookah to me. Because you're not supposed to inhale the smoke with cigars or anything like that. So you kind of are you're kind of puffing in a sense.
And it's the taste.
It's in the taste.
It's the taste of different flavors.
Yeah, so it's not like, when you're smoking weed or cigarettes, like you get that nicotine or the getting high off the weed or whatever. So, I get it. I like a good cigar.
Yeah.
My friends in Akron are part of a cigar lounge out there. And, we go there often, and it's pretty cool. It's very grown and sexy type.
It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, so thank you once again. Thank you to everybody that pulled up last night. So
Playboy?
No, I was indigestion. I'm sorry. I've had a serious case of.
It did go up an octave, didn't it? It did. I don't know. So all right, y'all. So let's get into some things. So we're gonna keep it short and sweet this week because we got a late start. And it's still a Sunday. Shout out to the wizard over there. Dev be figuring this shit out.
Yeah,
like no matter what, Dev will pull a cord out of somewhere. And like, you know what? We just gonna run this cord to this cord real quick. We gonna tie these ends up real quick, but don't nobody move when we talking.
I couldn't figure that out for nothing.
And don't forget to turn on the flux capacitor.
What they want to do. You pull a cord out, you replug it in, and it reset everything. You like, man, what the fuck? I did that 10 times. 11th time it worked.
I'm gonna start calling this nigga Doc.
Like
Back to the Future. Nigga, this nigga over there with the flux capacitor, that motherfucker. Like
the problem is we shouldn't. We do too much unplugging and plugging. You know what I'm saying? Like for the sake of continuity, we should probably have multiple. You know what I mean?
Just multiple shit. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Travel shit and we mentioned it before. Yeah, travel shit and stuff like that. I mean, it's like. Yeah. Every time you unplug this mixer from the computer, it resets, and it's a new. I know we getting technical. It's a new audio codec. It might be 4, it might be 6, it might be 3, but then everything else was remembering 3, but now it's 4, so it ain't gonna read nothing until you
right.
You gotta unplug, go into the thing it used to be plugged into, replug it back in so it reread it. Go into the next thing, unplug. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's better to have something that's sitting there and it's there constantly. You know, I get it.
But anyway,
all right. Anyway, so all right, what's going on, good people?
It's a lot going on. I guess I just we talked a little bit about it last night, but I don't know if I got the energy for the Ime Udoka shit. You know what I mean? Because the world's not going. You know what I realized? Fuck that topic. The world's not going to take. We have an accountability problem out here, and it's like fucking up. It's fucking up a lot, but it's really fucking up our community. It really, really is, man. So it'd be hard to have. You can't have nuanced conversations no more. You can't have them. You know what I mean? You can't have niche conversations. Like if you say like at least Trump was honest, right? Then at that point you hate all black people. You hate all Latinos. You want every woman to not have a choice about her body. As opposed to you just making an honest observation that our current president be fucking lost. And this nigga's a statue waiting to buy this time out.
That falls off of bikes.
And he was on the stage the other day. He ain't know where the fuck to go. They had to snap the nigga to turn around. Like, it's nuance to conversations in the world is all I'm saying. And like this, the Ime Udoka shit, when things are blatantly, when there's blatant fruit, not just low-hanging fruit, there's like blatant fruit with the Ime Udoka shit. Like, he was fucking with Nia Long. He cheated on her with a white woman. At that point, anybody who wanted to feel some kind of way could. There's enough meat on that bone. They don't gotta go off that. He cheated on this woman with a white woman with somebody less than him. At that point, if anybody wanted to just stand on that, they could stand on that. And in this society, if you got enough to stand on, you could just stand on that shit and fuck nuance, fuck the niche part of the conversation, fuck the accountability part, because I got enough meat on the bone. But the fact of the matter is, in that situation and so many others, it's nuance to that. Like, it's nuance to the Ime Udoka situation. There has to be accountability for the other side. The literal definition for consensual is two people agreeing to something. So if two humans agree to something, yes, this thing should be punished, but in a consensual situation, the other person should also. It's just the fucking definition of it. But if there's enough meat on the bone, people don't even want to fucking have. We don't gotta have a conversation about nothing else other than the meat I got. And if that's the case, then just move on to the next topic. But there's facts in here that need to be addressed, but ain't nobody gonna address them because it really started with, for me, prevalent with a lot of shit. A lot of shit. With the Black Lives Matter shit was when it really got heavy. When police got rules and regulations, and if niggas break them, people could just stand on the rules and regulations that they broke and fuck anything else. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if somebody died. They just gonna push the conversation back to the rules and regulations. If that's the case, then I ain't gonna fucking do this back and forth. But it also hit a head for us here with the Deshaun Watson shit. There was more than enough meat on the bone. This nigga had multiple steaks. It was all kind of meat on that bone. But there was still nuance to the shit. It's still nuance, but don't nobody want to have these nuanced conversations. So I guess we could have an Ime Udoka conversation because there's a lot to it. But I don't know how far we could go down the rabbit hole before it just becomes like, well, you shouldn't fuck people that you are above. And if that's the case, then okay. I know there's probably millions of people married to somebody. I met my wife at work, and she was a higher rank than me. There's people everywhere who do this shit. But if that's just what people go stand on, and it ain't shit else to talk about it. At that point, because all you can be like is you right, because you're right. But also, if Leah is a management assistant and I'm a management trainee, and we start fucking, she should have got fired, right? And we shouldn't be 12 years married.
Well, y'all could be 12 years married, but
she should have got fired. She should have got. But no, she shouldn't have because there's nuance.
Yeah, I think that what happens in situations is, like you're saying, there's nuance. We had a show, I don't even know how long ago now, where we were talking about how two things can be true. Multiple things can be true in a lot of different situations. But what plays a part is that I feel what people do is they plant their flag on the part that they want to be true. And that's just going to be it no matter what. So it's like, even if we got this nuance, we just don't want to hear the other side. Like we can lay out the 4 different layers of the whole email thing or whatever. And like I said, to me, the least of it, the last part I even want to kind of have brought up is the name Nia Long.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a fuck about Nia Long. It could have been Leah Tong.
Yeah.
It don't matter. It's just that's the salacious part. That's the name that makes people be like, oh, let's dive into this or whatever. That's the last part. It's just there's just other parts to it. There's been a million people that's done what he's done. But we can't correct everybody's mistakes with one person's mistake. That's one thing. Boston is at fault for the way they leaked the information out that led to all this dumbass speculation about all this stuff that's going on, and the ladies and who was this and all these
Wasn't
other
even
things.
the ladies. They was pictures they was putting up on Twitter.
That's what I'm saying.
Was fucking
Boston leaked that out. They're terrible for doing it.
Yeah.
From what I'm reading, it actually is more to the story that's leading to why he got suspended. So it's like, it's so many different arguments, but people want to plant their flag on this, on like the one thing, and it's just like, all right, people, but it's like we don't even know though.
This is the thing. Well, go ahead.
I just want to know what Nia did to make him cheat. I'm the radical of the group. I just want to know what the motherfucker did.
This is the thing.
That's just black men.
Can we know the truth? Can we be honest?
She didn't stop him from getting in the car when he was about to go pop them fools. She ain't stop him from getting in the car.
Can we be honest? I'm so the Nia Long part need to go in the trash. Fuck it being fourth. It doesn't matter. They're not fucking married.
It don't matter.
He didn't cheat on Nia Long. He's a single man. He's single.
That's right.
He's the definition of single. You cannot blow down on somebody that's married and a single man the same way. That man's single, okay? Her name is not Nia Udoka. Her name is Nia Long.
That's true.
He fucking her.
You're absolutely right. But
He fucking Nia.
it was fucked up though that by reports he had her go ahead and move to Boston knowing this investigation was going on and it was going to come out.
If the reports come out that he had a 9mm to her back and said move, listen, she had a 6'8" light-skinned nigga who was making $5 million a year as the head coach of the Celtics.
Yeah.
And she moved her black ass to Boston.
Right.
Find me a woman who want this nigga to marry her, who ain't gonna move with the nigga to Boston. I'll wait.
Look, I'm just saying in general. I'm just being honest.
Through all of it. This is what I'm saying. All I'm saying is this. To go out and tell a woman, listen, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. I'm going to get down on one knee in front of your family and God and propose my love to you and marry you. If that nigga ain't did that, then he don't fuck with you like that.
And
it's just and
they've been engaged since 2015 or something like that. And I don't know why. I think they said it was
because he be fucking these. That's why.
What if Nia wouldn't give him no pussy?
Come on, man.
Niggas don't know. You'll just assume.
Can I ask a question?
She was just on some cool shit
are.
and she the victim. I don't believe it. There's something else to that story.
Real quick.
Us as black men, we don't cheat.
Yeah, I want to hear it. Okay.
We treat girlfriends or boyfriends the same way families treat like fucking high school graduations and proms. That shit don't exist. Man, we'll throw this party at the college graduation and at the engagement party. I don't give a fuck about him cheating on his girlfriend. You can't cheat on your girlfriend. I found a better option than you. Come on, man. Anyway.
If you can't cheat, what is this world coming to? Go ahead,
your
Ulysses.
fucking girlfriend.
I'm joking, man. I'm
Cheat
joking.
on your girl. It doesn't even make sense.
I'm not taking part in that part of the conversation. You least. So let's throw it over to our correspondent over here. Please.
Reporting live from the couch. I had a question. So, we talk about men and women and everything or whatever. Do you ever, have you ever fucked up and, probably did some things you really didn't like? My question is, if you knew the outcome of your decisions, would you do it again?
I mean, I guess that's a general question that we can apply to like every phase of our life. If we knew what the decision would be or the outcome would be in any situation, that's like 20 what do they call it? 20/20 vision. What is it?
Hindsight
hindsight 2020, something like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of different things we will all play out differently because we'd be like, no, I don't like that outcome.
Yeah, I agree with you. I try to make it a point to, personally, to not regret nothing I do. It's like once I make that decision, I made that decision, and because I'm a very, very, if I start thinking heavily about something, I'm not the type of person that can just think about something and then just go away. I'll start like really thinking about it. So I try not. If I do some shit, it's just what it is. You know.
And I'm the opposite. I'm the person that before I make the decision, I roll through so many scenarios in my mind about why it could work or why it shouldn't work and all these different things. So usually by the time I make a decision to do something, I've thought it through a way too much. I'm an overthinker, you know. But I mean, I understand your question though. Yeah.
So you basically saying, do we have regrets in life?
No, because some people, you know, if they kill somebody, they meant to kill that person, whatever. They don't regret shit. So I'm just saying, like, do you ever, like, have you ever had a moment of wish you would have did something differently, or would you do the same thing?
I think, of course.
Okay.
Like handle the situation differently.
Yeah. I'm not perfect. So yeah, I think that's how growth happens. I just think you assess yourself. You know what I mean? It's the equivalent. You know, I read everything back to sports and relationships, but it's the equivalent of watching film. Yeah, damn, I should do that different, and then you do it different next time.
And so this is the reason why I asked that, because do you think that man thought about all the outcomes that possibly could have happened?
I don't. Okay.
Do you think that
You mean just this situation of?
But I'm saying like if he knew that his employment would hang in the balance based on how he was, you know, conducting himself, do you think that he would have went through? Because hey, he might say, shit, the pussy was worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is what it is. So my thing is whatever. If you can have critical thinking in your situations or what you deal with or whatever, I think people base it on cost and benefit, pain and pleasure, and it was a risk. And the risk wasn't favorable for him. Well, I don't think that he just
somebody
negated.
has to. I get what you're right. You're right in a sense. I'm not saying you're wrong. Right? We have to assess what that risk is, because the risk is not really making a whole lot of sense to me for him. It's not making. He's employed. You're right. He's a single man with a job. He has sex with a woman. Yes, that woman happened to be somebody, the vice president, somebody such and such, such and such. If that's the case, yes, he should be regretting having a situation with the vice president's wife. Yes. Should anybody that's fucking somebody get fired from their job? I don't think the juice is matching the squeeze on this though. I could see if he had you have a married man who, like, I don't know if you remember Bobby Petrino. He was the head coach at Louisville.
The motorcycle
football coach.
accident
He was
and stuff.
fucking this one of the women on campus. He got in his motorcycle accident or car accident with her on the motorcycle. He was married. He was fucking a younger woman. He got fired. Okay, I'm a single man and I'm having sex. With all due respect, she's the adulterer. Now, are you wrong too? Yes, you're wrong too. But you're not Bobby Petrino. You're not a married man who's besmirching the organization with your actions. Y'all hired a single 6'8" light-skinned nigga. You don't think he get no pussy? Like, what world is we in? Like, that this nigga, y'all think unless y'all knew he was celibate, like, come on, man, this is not a married dude who fucked up his entire family for fucking a secretary. Like, if that was the case, they would have a hell of an argument. If they did this to Jeannie Buss, who was the owner of the Lakers, who was fucking the head coach, I feel like they would have. She literally hired him and could fire him like this. Mm-hmm. You don't have to. Yeah. You don't even have to be fired with cause in the NBA. We just be like, you know what? You won 28 games. I wanted you to win 29. Fired. She could have fired this nigga at any point in time because you've got to take the trash out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't. It's not.
That's that double standard part of things. Like, because you mentioned that last, like the Jenny Buss thing, where it was like, yeah, She could have fired Phil at any time. But if you flip, and I hate doing this thing, but if you flip those roles, and if it was a team owner or whatever, fucking let's call it WNBA because it could be more. Maybe it's more women coaches than WNBA. Let's just say that. But either way,
it is.
Either way though. But it's just if that happens and then you fire them, they could be like, oh well, it was sexual harassment or something like that, and nobody expected in any way, shape, or form Phil Jackson to ever be like, well, we was having sex, so nobody ever even thought that. And if he would have, nobody even would have took him seriously. On top of that,
and we do all this new, and I get it. We don't have all the info, right? And with all due respect, I understand the viewpoints people take, but you also got to understand. I have crossed over into if ain't nobody else gonna do it, I'm gonna give black men the benefit of the doubt until I have cause not to.
Okay.
And what I am going, people can lean on the side that he did this, and this. I could also lean on the side, 6'8", light-skinned, good-looking dude, white woman wanted to fuck him. Does that seem weird? Right. It don't seem weird to me. That Ime Udoka could walk in any room with any white woman and they won't bat their eyes a little bit and fluff up they. So we all want to go down this dark path that he was in the cut with a hoodie on, like give me the pussy. Everybody want to go down that path. Right. Everybody want to go down that path. That like he pursued her and DM'd her and was, please just give me just a sniff of it. I'm going to assume the other side. Everybody don't got all the info, so they all assuming. I'm going to assume on the other side of the ledger that these women maybe could have possibly pursued him. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Does that? I mean, multi-million-dollar ex-NBA basketball player turned head coach.
That's dating.
That's dating Nia fucking Long.
Now this is where it is, and that is dating Nia Long.
And you can be like, girl, I fucked Nia Long, nigga. Come on. That's what I'm leaning towards.
So we started this whole topic off with accountability, right?
Yep.
Let's still talk about it.
At the end of the day, if you can assess the risk of your actions as a fully employed, citizen of Cleveland, you think he did it? So at the end of the day, he doesn't get a pass. Nobody get a pass. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, whatever, you're an adult.
No.
You make decisions. Let me finish. I'll let you finish. I've been quiet. Let me finish.
You're not right on this one, though.
It doesn't matter. My opinion is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine.
I do want to
finish. But I can finish what I'm saying.
I'm saying people are getting the pass, so don't say that. You can't say that. You can't say people aren't getting the pass because people are getting the pass. Now go ahead. I'm just saying you can't say that. You can't say people aren't getting the pass. Because the married woman in the organization, we don't know her fucking name. That is a pass. Okay. And they said she's not getting fired. That is without a shadow of a doubt a pass. So we can't say that nobody's getting a pass. If that was the case, if both people's head was on the chopping block, then we having a different conversation. But people in this motherfucker is getting passes. That's the issue. Niggas is getting free rides into the train station. They getting free passes, bro. They getting the pass go, collect $200. You do not have to go to jail. There are people in this situation that are getting free passes. And that's the problem. Yes, this nigga is wrong and he should suffer some sort of punishment. But there are motherfuckers in the situation getting free passes. And that's the problem. He should not get a free pass. He should be held accountable. At no point in time, I'm not blaming this on Nia Long. I'm not blaming this on the fucking Celtics front office. I'm not blaming this on the players. This is Ime Udoka's fucking dumbass problem. The other side to this is other motherfuckers is getting passes. And that's a problem.
Can I ask a question? In fact, Ulysses, can I ask a question? So if we talking about accountability and we talking about a 6'8" nigga that can pretty much walk in a room or whatever, gotta be some pussy you can get other than whoever. And I've read different. I mean, who knows who the lady is? I read today that she was somebody that was responsible for travel for the organization and stuff like that. So who the fuck knows who she is? I don't care. If it is, if it's as simple as what you're saying, he's a 6'8" light skinned nigga that can just whatever. It's a lot of places you can get some pussy other than within your organization where those consequences are in play. I mean, I'm not. That's fair to say. That's fair to say when we're talking accountability.
I am not pulling accountability off of Ime Udoka.
I'm not saying you are.
Yeah, I don't know why this is being flipped. This nigga should be suspended and or fired. If you fuck the VP's wife, bro, you should be fired probably. That's a dumb nigga move. If any of y'all fuck I'm leaving the pod and we got to square up. Like, he got to be accountable.
Do we?
Right.
Like, he needs to be held accountable. I'm just saying, everybody got to be held accountable, though. I'm just saying. Everybody got to be held accountable. That's the problem. Everybody, bro.
I get that perspective that
this nigga's wrong. He's dumb.
Yeah.
He did some shit. He fucked his job up. Damn near fucked his life up, his profession, his reputation. You are 1,000,000% right.
He probably not gonna never get another job.
Yes, he's never gonna, and deservedly so, because you can't be hiring niggas that's fucking the VP's wife.
Yeah.
I get that. But this got to be equal on both sides when it comes to a consensual relationship between two people.
Okay. So I'm guessing I get it. That's where you're falling on it. And I'm just looking at it like, all right, I don't think you're wrong. I think that's been an argument. You've seen a lot of people, even on ESPN, make a couple. I saw the Stephen A. Smith thing with Malika Andrews, and I even saw when she was on. She had Perkins on the NBA Today show or whatever, and they had a small exchange or whatever. And it's it's. I get it. It's true. It's just if it was consensual, if that's how they, and that's again, this is on Boston. This is how y'all termed it.
Yeah.
This is how the leaks came out. But then, I'm telling you, I've seen some other stuff afterwards where it's just like even Matt Barnes today, he had said something and he retracted it because he said he talked to people closer to it. It's like, all right, there's more to it, and he retracted how his stance on it initially or whatever. But as I said, this is on Boston, based on the way y'all let this shit leak out. That's why people have those things, and I'm just saying. To me, I don't give a fuck about Ime. I want the Cavs to win. I don't give a fuck about Ime and or Boston. Them niggas could finish last in the East.
I do because they are roadblocking our way.
I'm outside that. They could finish. I don't finish that. I ain't never met Nia before. She seems to be a very fine lady. So I'm saying, I don't care. But yeah, I do agree with that argument that if it was. When you sit in a press conference and you're like, okay, well, nobody else is going to face anything or whatever, that does rub people the wrong way. That's almost like when all the overcorrection that goes on in this country right now with different things, we talk about how it's overcorrection all the time, how when you just go too far to the left and only one person seems to be held accountable when you could look at it and be like, okay, well, two people messed up and that doesn't happen. I mean, so I get that part. I'm not gonna shed no tears over Ime in this situation.
Yeah, Ime need to be. Ime probably never coach again. It just re-earths the accountability conversation. And I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to say this other than just say it and then kind of try to build out from there. But like these situations and these viewpoints perpetuate the same shit that we're trying to eradicate. Like in these moments. Men and women are truly equal beings. Let's stop this shit that this man is somehow some kind of powerful, overbearing being that the woman couldn't fend off. Because if unless you're alleging some sort of physical shit, and if that's the case, we got a whole different conversation. Emotionally, intellectually, rationally, we're equal. So if we enter into a situation together, this whole concept that she was powerless because he was a man and she was a woman and she ain't had no choice but to succumb to the wheels of a man. Come on, man. You know what? You ever had a conversation back and forth with your woman in a sparring match mentally? That shit don't read to me no more. That like somehow because I'm a man, I'm automatically more powerful in an intellectual setting than a woman. Right. That's not the case.
Right.
You know what I honestly feel? I feel everybody wants a piece of flesh. And this goes back to me saying people plant their flats on stuff. I think everybody wants a piece of flesh where it's like, in a situation like this, there's going to be a ton of men that's like, yo, this situation is fucked up because there don't seem to be accountability on the other side. Because, like you said, there's no name on the other side. If it was strictly consensual, that's what it was. That means two people made a decision. And there's no accountability from the other side. So now you got this one side. It's like, yo, it should be the same thing on both sides. So you want that pound of flesh on the other side. Then I think in situations that, and I don't want to speak for you, But I think there's also situations where I think you're making good points where it's like, all right, which you haven't disputed, where it's like, all right, yeah, he made dumb decisions. He should be fired and all these things or whatever. But I feel like on that side also, and again, I don't want to speak for you. I also feel like there's the other side where it's like still he's been suspended. He's going to get fired. He's not going to coach the Boston again. I don't care what nobody says. I still ain't going to be enough no matter what. I mean, and I don't know what becomes the punishment enough for Ime for the other side of things where it's just like he could have made better decisions. He should have did this. He should have thought about the consequences of his actions, his accountability, whatever. Like, what else can happen to Ime other than the fact that he's about to be fired probably at some point over the next year? He may not get a job again. Nia's probably going to leave his ass. Like, all these things. I don't know what the other outcome is on the other side of things.
Yeah, there is. Everything that happens, he deserves.
And ain't gonna be no outcome as far as her or nothing like that. Man, you can't defeat wealthy white people. Nigga, ain't nothing gonna happen to her or none of them situations. They gonna brush it under the table. Whoever she with, they still gonna be married. They gonna move on with their life. He the only one that's gonna suffer behind this.
That's it.
He's the only one. That's just what's gonna happen. You're dealing with wealthy white people.
It's like
Let's keep it 100.
It's the definition of being lightweight fucked up. It's lightweight fucked up. It's not fucked up because he deserves whatever consequences come to him, but the lack of accountability leads to like a negative view of his role in this.
Because this is my thing. So okay, let me get this clear real quick. I know we gotta move on, but let me get the facts straight. So he was fucking the vice president of the Celtics' wife.
He's fucking somebody.
So she's not employed by.
She's also employed.
Okay. Well, she needs to be fired then.
And we got to say allegedly because we don't know for a fact that was a vice president's wife. It's a lot of stuff out there.
I read allegedly.
Okay, allegedly. I'm sorry, allegedly. But if that's the case, then that means that because he's being suspended and loses his job, shouldn't she also lose her job? Because I'm pretty sure in their contract it states the same thing. Fraternize with other members of the, of the organization or whatever.
That's the whole point, man.
So she should also be fired. But we both know, like I said, dealing with wealthy white people, that's probably not going to happen.
He's getting everything he deserves.
He, nigga, like, dude, you can't tell me that you didn't sit up there at some point and was like, yeah, I'm fucking the vice president, allegedly vice president's wife. But if I get caught, this probably gonna happen. Oh well. Like, you got to like,
and it's another layer to this shit, man. That like, and I've like I said last night during Pod and R&B, I watched too many videos about shit and watched too much stuff about stuff when things come out. There's a world that exists inside of professional sports. This goes back to the Deshaun Watson shit, but there's a world that exists inside of professional sports that we're just not privy to as niggas who work at a school and we at a hospital. We don't live in their world. We don't live in their world. We don't suffer the same consequences. We don't have the same access. We don't have the same experiences. And to us, for me to be having a relationship with, I don't know, the superintendent's spouse or some shit like that, it's a little bit. Do y'all know they like they like got girls COVID tests during COVID to come into the bubble to fuck the niggas?
Really?
We're living in a different world. Like the sports world is different than our world. It's different. It's a little bit different. So like the consequences and repercussions for the average person, what he did, yes, he should be penalized for it. I'm not so sure his mind frame is the same as ours. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not sure consequences rear their ugly heads in the same fashion for athletes as they do for us. During COVID, it was us and our girl. When they went to the bubble, in essence, them niggas negotiated. So y'all gonna send some bitches, right? We'll go to Orlando, but y'all gonna send some pussy out there, right?
Right.
All right, we'll agree to the bubble. Like it's a different world. It's a different world, man. You got different expectations. It's different. It's not the same. So like, yeah, in our brain, yeah, man, like he should have been held accountable. We should have made a better decision. They also don't have the same limitations that we got, man. So I can't to harken back to it. Phil Jackson was fucking the owner. In what world are you fucking Jenny Buss?
Right.
Could you even fathom fucking the owner of Real Madrid? Like, this is the owner of the Lakers. He's like, yeah, I'm about to go over to Jeannie house and get some buns and go to Jack in the Box. Like, they live in a different world, man.
Right.
So that's another aspect of it, too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, our brains would just be like, yeah, we probably shouldn't do this because this is going to happen. In their world, it's like, yeah, I'll go to the bubble if y'all employ 50 women to come down there to give us some buns while we down here. They live in the consequences ain't the same.
Right.
It's just not the same, man. So it's like, but you know what? They put out what they put out. The information they put out is the information they put out. They put certain shit out to know they're going to get a reaction. They knew that they know what they doing, man. If they didn't know what they doing, we would be the number one. They know what they doing, man. The first thing I saw about this wasn't the person and the decision making and none of that. The first thing I saw was Nia Long's man is cheating on her, and it was on the Shade Room. First thing I saw. They knew how to make this shit hit and stick.
It's marketing.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just looking at shit on my phone because with the week I had, I wasn't a ton of stuff going on, so I was looking at just different things that I had came across before and just had made notes of to kind of talk about and show and things like that. Ain't no transition from that. Ain't no transition from that. You know, I'd be liking to kind of tie it in a little bit. Ain't no transition from that. I don't know, but it's something. I mean, I guess I thought about this too as after I came across it earlier. You know, especially with my situation now with having a kid at home now, and it was something that somebody had mentioned before where they were saying that your kids are the people who let you know if you are a good parent or not. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted y'all thoughts on that. Is that right or wrong? That your kids are the people who will let you know how good you were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's they physically telling you or if it's just the
it's a harsh reality, but yeah. Yeah.
The outcome of how they are. But could it be parents that did everything they were supposed to do?
I don't think anybody does everything they're supposed to.
Does the best you can.
Yeah, the best. Sometimes the best you can.
Providing as much as you can or whatever. You ever see those situations where, you know, it's like kid didn't have to ask for anything, didn't want for things like that, but then they still just kind of grew up.
Yeah, what was the emotional availability of the parent? What was the conversations like? What was the life lesson teaching? What was the child rearing like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the expectation levels? There's a lot of parents who parent through goods. You know what I'm saying? Bikes, shoes, clothes,
monetary
food.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the child rearing like? What was the conversations like? How was the expectation set? What was the routines? What did you have to do when you came home? What was first? Was it homework? Was it chill? Did you check the homework? Did you double check? You know what I mean? Did you make them stand in front of your face and go to see if they brush their teeth? You make them lift their arm up. For real.
That's real
see
shit.
If they put on deodorant. Like, it's a lot to it. Some parents just be letting shit slide. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the fact of the matter. Yeah, man. I think it's a lot to it. And yeah, I think it's just like being in a relationship. The representation of what you put out in the world. Like if we would have went to Houston and we just had all the bitches out, you know what I'm saying, twerking in our house. You know what I mean? I feel like that would have been representation of our girls. No, for real. Like that would have been representation.
Ain't
of
no room for that when you got Bibles.
Exactly.
Ain't no room for that.
I feel like what you put out into the world, how you conduct yourself when the people not around, shows you the expectations they held you to when they are around.
I tell Leighton every single morning, do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. It's so funny you brought up accountability because I am currently in that stage with Leighton. Accountability. And I have real ass conversations with him as far as stuff that I ain't do right. Just so he can see, like, don't think it's just you. Don't get down on yourself, but know that me even being a 41-year-old grown man, that I have consequences to my actions as well, you know. But yeah, that's definitely something I've been working on tremendously when it comes to both of my children, honestly, you know. But
I don't have kids yet, but I know that talking to your child, not just when they're in trouble,
right,
or when you need to, but just because you want to pour into them and kind of like, you know, water that seed is very important. And I can't speak on nobody else's household, but I feel like children have kind of went left since we stopped having dinner together as a family. Like, when is the last time that you sat down at the table and had dinner with your children? Because the dinner table was where a lot of
Conversation
parenting,
happened.
you know, effective parenting, because you're focused, you know what I'm saying, happens. And I feel like because that probably ain't a practice for most families due to, you know, different situations or whatever, the kid's not really getting that. You know what I'm saying? And then I think also, too, that benefits the parent in a way, because at the end of the day, when you walk in the house, your kid ain't going to come telling you a million things as soon as you step foot, because they know dinner is where we had these conversations. Dinner is where I can have my parents' full attention. Dinner is where I can, you know what I'm saying? So then you don't even have a lot of, you know, kids attacking you when you get into the door, because they know that they have set time for you.
I actually agree with that. You know, because I think we talked about it once before. I mean, growing up, when we were younger, we sat down and ate. The food got done. My mom made the plates. We sat down and ate. Even if my father was at work working second shift, then all of us sat down and ate. But I mean, up until probably at least up until teenage years, when work schedules really started to take effect or whatever, we sat down and ate. And I mean, like, every day of the week, you know. So I mean, I agree with that. That's one thing we've been trying to implement in our house right now, is that, you know, at least a couple days out the week, making sure that we sit down and, you know, the TV's not there, so it's like, all right, we can be sitting down and we eating all at the same time, because it's important. I mean, it's just, I do agree. It's amazing when you sit at a table. I mean, shit, you forced to talk to each other.
And not even does that, whatever, but you got to think about it. If that's a practice that you have with your children when they're little, guess what? They know how to sit down and be attentive. That way they ain't running all over the daycare doing whatever, and they feel that they don't have to, like, rob all the other kids of the teachers', you know what I'm saying, attention, because they want it. They know that there's set times and structure, and I feel like that breeds discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they get some type of sense of, okay, this is how things go. This is what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. But because you sit up there and make them 2 packs of noodles and sit them in front of a TV, and think about it, like, how many things in a household does a kid actually have to do? Because these kids don't do chores without being asked. These kids don't, like, for real, whatever, do anything. There's no, I don't know. Like,
What kids is we talking about?
I'm sorry?
What kids is we talking about?
Obviously not yours if you can't relate.
It's a lot of good kids out here, though.
That's cool.
So it's millions of them. It's a lot of good kids. It's a gang of good kids out here. I work with them every day. Not even ones in my house. It's a lot of good kids, man. I don't think it's disproportionate to when we was in school.
What you mean?
It's a gang of good kids out here. It's a bunch of respectable, nice, good morning, Mr. Reed kids.
Right.
It's a gang of them. I don't think it's a over, like, I think we got more social media and, like, more pictures. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But I don't feel like this is, you know, schools right now are crazier than Caledonia or Kirk in the 90s.
I feel it's more distractions.
I mean, I think it's more distractions based off distractions. In my opinion, from looking at it, distractions only seem like distractions when the adults don't know what the thing is. Like to my father, like he used to pronounce it, the Nintendo was a distraction because it was foreign to him. It was, I mean, yeah, we got to deal with phones now and Apple Watches, but you collect the kids' phones if it becomes an issue, and then you give it back to them at the end of the school day. Mm-hmm. Like it's, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't feel like something's wrong with the youth right now.
At all?
No. I mean, youth are gonna have issues. We was killing niggas in the 90s. We was selling crack. Like, I feel like misguided youth are gonna be misguided youth no matter the time period.
I mean, I agree
with that.
Bootlegging
in the 20. But it's no different. It's not like a higher rate. We was murdering people in East Cleveland.
I mean, I agree with that. Like you said, misguided youth is misguided youth, but it's just, I took that when you said, I took it almost like you felt like it was like it's no issues at all. With the youth,
it's just
like that.
It's misguided youth are gonna be misguided youth no matter the time period. It's not like a disproportionate amount of like messed up kids or something. Like it's a gang of great kids out here. Millions of them. They're the majority of schools. Majority of kids are great kids. And 9 times out of 10, once you dig into what's going on with some of the more troubled kids, it's a troubled situation going on. And at that point, you got to do some provide what you can provide in that moment. And then at other points in times, maybe you got kids who have their own mental, health issues they got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, it's usually a source to the issue. For the most part, kids, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I mean, so do we look at it the same as grown adults now? Do we look back at it now and be like, all right, like, does everybody in our age now see the actual impact? And I guess I can already speak for us, in a sense, because we had those conversations, the actual impact of what that parent had in your life,
Absolutely.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Absolutely. I sit back and think about it every day. I look at myself and the different things that I deal with and how I am and just different things in general, just makeup of James. And I know for a fact that it absolutely is a reflection of my parents and how I was raised and different stuff. Absolutely.
That's the exact point.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
It's like y'all talked about it last night. I never looked at it like that, but like me and Lee have been chugging along for 12 years. But I'm sure a lot of that has to come from conversations with my pops. And he talked to his uncle who was married for 50 years. And he asked his uncle, how do you make this work? And he said, the only advice I got for you is don't quit. That's it. So in the back of my mind, shit gets rough. I tell myself, don't quit. I don't know what else to tell nobody. But that came from my pops. Yeah. And just like with a lot of different people, without that rearing from my parents, I don't know if I would make that same decision. Maybe I would have stumbled across that same decision. But I know where I'm pulling these sources from, and it's coming from the teachings of my parents, my mother and father. I know that for a fact.
And I gotta watch myself. Y'all always know I'm so transparent when it comes to this shit, man. Mm-hmm. I have to really watch myself. I remember I was looking at a video on Instagram with Denzel Washington and him saying that pain is passed down from their fathers and different stuff. And I literally have to watch myself at times, especially when it comes to my son. Only because I was treated a certain way by my dad. I'm not shitting on my dad, but my father was very stoic. He was very military. He was a military man. So he treated me a certain way. Wasn't no affection. Wasn't no, hey, son, I love you. None of that stuff. So I have to watch myself when it comes to my kids because it's always sometimes so weird that they'll come up to me for hugs and I just be like, hey, okay. You know what I mean? Like, not because I don't love them, but because I'm not used to it. I didn't get that growing up. So as a father, I have to, what they call break the curse or the generational curse and be like, you know what? So now I've been finding myself being more like, oh, come here, baby. You know what I mean? Even my son, come here, baby, come here. Get daddy a hug or, whatever. Because it get rough at times. Because sometimes I just be like.
It's power
You know what I
in
mean?
that, man. It's power in words. It's power in actions. It's parenting is the definition of power. You have the power to breathe life into a kid or dim a light. You literally have that power.
Yeah.
And like I had a good night song. A good morning song. I turned it from a good morning song and a good night song with Mackenzie, but we sing it every single night.
Right.
Every night. And there's a part where she gets tickled and she laughs. But yes, that was passed down from my father, the good morning song. You know what I'm saying? We flipped it and also made a good night song, but like it is a direct representation of how you raise your kids. And like those words, those words and actions matter so much, man. Yeah. Like if you was ever around, it might sound simple, man. And it might rub people the wrong way. But if anybody was ever around a you don't need no man or you don't need no woman type parent, that shit has the ability, I'm not saying it always does, it has the ability to stick to their ribs.
Right.
And in the back of their mind when shit gets rough, in the back of my mind when shit gets rough, I literally can hear my father have that conversation with me about what his uncle told him. I can hear it, man. Like, it's not even just, I can hear it. And like the voice flexion, he was like, don't quit. He shook his head, his voice flexion went up a little bit. It was matter of fact. It was like, what the fuck else you want me to tell you type situation. And it resonates. So if you ever saying I don't need no man, I don't need no woman, you good by yourself, your kids might, I'm not saying always, might fuck around in a pinch and hear you say that in the back of their head. Yeah. And you don't want to implant that shit in their head, man. Because as a kid, as a parent, especially with little kids, you have the power to implant shit. You are like downloading shit into their system. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, man. It's a direct representation. But it rubs a lot of us the wrong way, man, because I can have the same conversations about my pops and some good stuff with my mother too. But my father did some bad stuff. My mother did some, everybody did some. It's not all great. It's not all good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, in my experience, fucking opinion. Oh yeah, it's a direct representation of how your kids turn out.
It definitely is. I'm sitting back. It's so crazy because we having this conversation. I'm sitting here thinking now about my son and my daughter. Just like, man, what can I do to be a little better? Because I don't want him to. Because God willing, it's gonna come a point where he gonna have a family. Yes, he gonna have a son, and he may look at, this is how my dad was. No, look, don't get this twisted. I love my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to paint this picture like I'm doing some fucked up shit with my kids. Be real, man. But it's just at times when it comes to the affection, that's my main thing I'm focusing on, is the affection, love part. Like, Brainstorm, you was in my driveway, about 2 weeks ago? About a week ago or so? You see how I interacted with Leighton. It was more stoic, like, no, go do this, A, B, C, go do this, boom, boom, boom. What did I say? You know what I mean? It wasn't more so like, I feel like it should have been like, come here, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part I'm trying to work on as a man, as a father.
And we got to, man, because like I got issues. My 16-year-old is not with me. You know what I mean? So that is it's a daily battle with like making sure that when she's here for the 4 or 5 months she's here. You know what I'm saying? That we do what we got to do. But when she's not here, you know what I mean? It's difficult to you almost feel like you're cheating her when you singing a good night song, a good morning song with Mackenzie every day. No, it's real. Like we ain't perfect, and that's some other shit I'll talk to y'all about. I don't want to talk about her. Please remind me to let y'all know what's going on. But like, it's some stuff with her. But there are opportunities where you can have an impact on your kid's life in a monumental way. And it can affect them and their outlook on the world. And I swear to God, you can put a battery in your kid's back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your opinion holds so much fucking weight. God, it's insane when you really think about it. And you like, take a minute. I'm about to start tearing up. It made me cry the other day, like how much weight I held in the conversation with my 16-year-old. It's a lot, man.
That's real. I know we're gonna be moving on, but that, bro, that is real. I look, especially, and I keep mentioning, my son because of him being a little man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like when I tell you every fucking thing I do, I'm his superhero. Mm-hmm. Like he looks for me to say when I say certain things. When I'm talking, he listening, and our interaction is a certain way. But like you said, a battery. It ain't nothing my little dude won't do for me. Or if I say A, B, and C, he gonna be like, my daddy said this is how you supposed to. You know what I mean? He operates directly off of me and what I show him. So I mean, basis for me is just now, being a parent is just I'm glad we having this conversation because it's truly this stuff I've been thinking about consistently, but it's really making me be like, man, I got to go way harder as far as for my kids that. As far as, teaching them certain things and making sure that they know different principles and values and morals, man, or just love, period. You know what I mean? Because I can be very stoic at times and very closed and very like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I can be that way, especially if I'm feeling some type of way,
Real quick, I know you're going to move on. We to speak back on some other shit. A conversation my pops used to always talk about was like cliches. And how they really mean a little bit more, but like people always say like I don't even know how to put it, but like your biggest impact or whatever is like if you could change the world one kid at a time, but like literally, man, like you have the ability to like mold a human, their values, their morals, and they take them to the world and they build their own stuff based off that foundation, but you have the ability to try to affect like what comes out of Petty James Reed is Dr. Darren Reed, and then he affects you change that kid in the heart of East Cleveland, but then he affects hundreds of thousands of kids in his work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you focus in. You just put the values, put that shit in on the base. And then he gonna take it and run with it and do what he gonna do with it. But like you literally can affect the world by changing one kid. Like if you get a chance, you're molding humans out of nothing. Like you're molding this. These kids coming to the world, they don't know how to talk, walk. They don't know what food is. What do you put in their stomach? Are you feeding them bullshit? Are you giving them pop? Are you giving them water? Are you making sure they brush their teeth every night, or do you not give a fuck? You are molding a human in their value system. And then they're going to take it and do whatever they got to do with it. Anyway. Yeah,
I'm going to just say this real quick, and then I know we're going to move on. It just got me thinking about past experiences. There are certain special... all y'all are special to me. Y'all have been around special people.
Some of us are more special than others.
Right. Special people that have been around my son,
I'm just playing.
Directly with me. You know what I mean? That just, me and that person and being around my son and being, and damn, what was I about to say? The reality is what I'm trying to do is for the people that have been around my son and seen it outside and seen his interaction or see how he operate. My son's a very respectful young man. He's very laid back. He talks, but is very respectful. He's, he articulates well. And that's definitely, I take all responsibility for that because I tell him, look, you got to be A, B, and C. But see, like I was saying before, I'm going to just say it again because I'm trying to speak it into existence for myself. I have to show him that love part. I can't just be, right now I'm showing him my dad. And I'm recognizing that now. So I'm taking accountability for this. You know what I mean? Like I see it. Yeah. But I have to show him the affectionate part because he yearns for that and I know it. You know what I mean? So that's all I want to say about that, man. But great topic, man.
I also think that we shouldn't downplay the role that other people have as adults in children's lives. So I know you say that you don't have any kids yet, but it's like any auntie, any uncle, any older cousin, any godmom, any person that's a teacher on any type of level. And like, when you are that adult that's around kids and you have the ability to actually make an impact in the kids' life, I don't think that should be downplayed in any way, shape, or form either. I mean, I mean, y'all know we've even just in our own circle of things we've had. Y'all know we'd have my nephew at the studio and we all sitting down talking to him about little stuff that's going on, little things or whatever. I think whenever we got an opportunity to kind of make that impact, and pour into other people, that shouldn't be downplayed either.
Oh no! Yeah, because for real, my goddaughter be like, "When you coming to see me? When we gonna do like?" So sometimes I ain't gonna lie, like because of the way I work and everything that's going on with me, sometimes I feel like a bad godmom. You know what I'm saying? Because my goddaughter is looking for me to show up. You know what I'm saying? My nephew. We just now really like getting some type of consistency with exchanging, you know what I'm saying? And it's almost like he looking for it, you know what I'm saying?
He came to the
No, not that.
Okay, well, shout out to him that came to the comedy lingerie. Yeah.
Yeah, that nephew scarred. So I have a nephew that's 2 years younger than me, and I'm telling you, like all of our lives was just kind of crazy or whatever. Because even in elementary, like he calling me auntie in the hallways. You know what I'm saying? Right. But he was at the comedy and lingerie.
Yeah, I know you shouted him out on stage. Yeah.
Listen, they said because I couldn't see because he was sitting behind the lights and everything. But when they was like, let's see your outfit, I took off my robe and everything. They said he was sitting there the whole show like this. Mm-hmm. As soon as I took off the robe, he was like,
he was like,
listen. His friend was there with him. He was in the red. Mm-hmm. He was like, hey, bro, I got you on a therapy. Like even my brother was front row and he looking like, oh my God, my sister. Yeah. My sister in the back, she like, oh my God, my sister. So, but
that's funny.
No, I mean like, whenever you have an impact on anybody, we ain't even got to like keep it short to kids. It's like whenever you got an impact on anybody, you know what I'm saying? Show up and show out for them. Mm-hmm. Because you just never know how at any age somebody can make a turn for the betterment of themselves.
Just off of
that exchange.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah.
So
I think that's why I try to be the type of person I am.
You ain't shit.
Well, you ain't shit.
Gotta keep him humble. Gotta keep him humble, YouTube.
No, but real talk.
No, but real shit.
That's exactly true.
Because it's some unhealed adults.
That's how I try to be that. I try to be that way.
Yeah.
I think that's why I am the person I am. That's why I interact, or be the way. This is therapy. Therapy for me right now. God damn it! Like y'all don't even understand.
That's what I'm saying. But it ain't even just limited to kids. It's just whoever you cross paths with or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You just never know. Like when I say God timing is perfect, trust me. Whoever you interact with, when you interact with them, timing is perfect.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well,
so Mo, when I text you, don't be having your car texting me like you driving, because I feel like you be in park and you don't be driving, you be in the car, so that way
I'll be on the
it'll
move.
Be a default.
I can't help it that you send the message like right when I be in the car, like all the time. Every time you text me, at least I be in the car, like damn near every single time.
Like my whole thread for you is literally like driving.
I can't stand text messages. Text messaging and FaceTime.
I can't stand FaceTime.
Yeah,
I actually like FaceTiming.
I can do text, but FaceTime, I don't like it.
I just the concept of text messaging is wild. Like FaceTime is even more wild. Like you don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. Don't FaceTime me.
I just won't answer. Like, Thankfully, nobody disrespects me and FaceTime me. Like just out the blue. Thankfully.
But then like texting, like I'm about to take some time out to type this back. You got me fucked up. Call me, asking me a question like, "Hey, who won the Browns game?" Who won the Browns game last week?
Oh, the Browns won.
Who run the Browns game?
This nigga here, man.
Hold on.
Asshole.
Hold on.
I'm gonna decline this bitch.
Hold on. But in a text message, I gotta pull my phone out. WHOWONTHE. Man, we got time for that. I'm about to text you fucking a sentence.
But I wish I would call somebody to ask them one question.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna text you.
No, I'm not. I'll text you back on Thursday.
So you think the best way to communicate with
just
you is through a call?
Maybe I grew up around dudes that sell dope too. I don't call me, fam. If this is the thing, if you ain't gotta call me, it's probably not that important any motherfucking way. So don't bother me. If it's not important enough to call me, why the fuck is you contacting me?
I put it like this: If it wasn't that important, why the fuck did you not text me? It's my thing.
I'm on at this point in my life. With all due respect, there are very few people outside of my kids who have access to me at any point in time. You want to FaceTime me, text me, whatever.
Oh yeah, everybody at this age.
Other than that, it gotta be somebody else that can help you, fam. I ain't that vital to nobody.
And no, but the thing about the text too is that you do get the opportunity through text to be like, all right, at some point, all right, do I need to respond to this right now? Or you got other things going on where it's like, sometimes that phone call coming through, you actually pick it up. Because like, all right, if they taking the time to call me, it must be something.
It must be important.
So I'm going to pick it up. But now I'm going to pick it up and say, hey, man, you ever had peanut butter with your jelly? Nigga, what? Yes, I've had peanut butter with my jelly.
I'll ignore that human's call for the rest of my life. This is the thing. People be like, you wasn't doing nothing. But I chose to not do nothing. And if I start texting, that means I'm doing something. So maybe I'll text you when I'm not doing nothing. But then if I'm not doing nothing, that means I'm doing something. That means I can't text you. If it's that important, call me, fam.
Well, people,
at the end of the day, if I have your number, that means I have access to all forms of communication with said number. You know how your phone works. That means I have options. I can text you, I can call you, I can FaceTime you.
And then the other person on the other side can either answer or
no, by all means, I
get
that or whatever. But this is the thing about it, whatever. Like some people use text messaging as a point of reference. Because we can have phone conversations all the time, whatever, and I don't remember what you said. But if I text you and you just told me simple as this, yes or no.
I sent you the address last week. Oh, yeah, let me look up the address. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So any form of communication is important.
But this is what I'm saying. All right, so we getting there. Let's say it's Pod and R&B Day. It's Saturday. It's 4:27. We got to be at the spot at 5:30. In my brain, text messaging is on. Address, who got the drink. Still, I might not fucking text back. But at least if somebody needs an address, I know that like it's we got an event, pod and poetry, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. Once you hit that threshold of like, all right, I need to communicate with a certain group of people in order to organize something, maybe. If it's Tuesday,
I think, okay, well, this is where I'll slightly disagree. I think when it's business related, you have an obligation to communicate.
And that's the thing about it, whatever. Like at the end of the day, I don't care how you personally feel.
Yeah,
I don't care how you personally feel about.
Just for example,
this
like even when it comes to DMST,
absolutely.
Even like with us, if it's DMST related, I feel like we have an obligation to
absolutely.
I don't know about that.
I mean, that's how I feel. I mean.
Sorry, y'all. If it's that important, call me. I'm just keeping it 100.
I'm too fickle.
No, at the end of the day, if that's your personal preference on how you communicate, wouldn't it be an obligation for you to handle that? So if you know that you don't text back and you rather have a phone conversation and I text you, then you call me. But I communicated to you.
Now you asking a lot.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I feel you. That's your. Yeah, and I ain't asking a lot.
No, it's not.
It's really not a lot.
The thing about it is, whatever. If that's your personal hang up, as far as like you don't like texting, you would prefer calling, then if I text you, call me. Because I don't know what you're doing. That's why I'm having the consideration of texting you first versus trying to pick up the phone and call you. So if you're in a space that you can talk, whenever you can talk, you know I texted you, call me when you have the time to have a conversation. Because it has to have some type of communication dialogue.
Yeah. Is it semantics in a sense? Is it semantics in a sense where it's just like, it's just look, we putting too much into our own preferences in a sense where it's just like, because look, I'm not gonna sit there and say I'm gonna be mad about a phone call. I treat phone calls like text message. They all the same to me. I prefer text. They all the same to me. If I'm busy or something or I can't get to it, then I just can't get to it. Now it is bad. I'm terrible with not getting back. I see a text come through sometimes. I'm like, all right, I'll do this. I'll respond at a certain point. And then it's the next day. And I'm like, shit, I forgot. I'm really, really bad at that. Like, I don't really just flat out always ignore people. I'm just like, yo, I was typing this up real quick. I mean, as soon as I finish this email, and just fucking forget.
Well, the world sometimes wants you to
forget. Even if you forget and you figure out the next day, hey, I'm sorry I had so much going on yesterday or whatever, have the conversation. Mm-hmm. But don't sit up there and just be like, oh, it ain't that big. You have no idea. I think this is the thing. When it comes down to personal business, however you want to look at it, people's understanding for shit is dragged through the fucking mud. Just because, oh, you Lisa understand I'm busy. Oh, you Lisa understand I got this going on. Oh, you Lisa understand. No, at the end of the day, you place value. This is the thing. It's not how you do. It's not what you do. It's how you do. It's not the reason of how much as more as it is why. Because if you knew that the conversation was conducive to you getting $1 million, you wouldn't give a fuck how you communicated back with me, because you valued what came from the conversation. If you don't value what comes from the conversation, then you ain't gonna do shit about it.
Good point.
100%
So if I'm not
Good
valued,
point.
just say that.
Good point.
But the problem is humans internalize other people. Nobody is that valuable on earth. I don't really give a fuck who it is. It's just I'm not gonna. People don't want you to be. People don't want you to be fake, and they want you. I'm not gonna mince words. I ignore. I'm just keeping it 100. What the fuck you want me to lie? I ignore.
You know what? That's being 100. So with
I just don't like text messaging. I don't know how many more times
But
to
the
put it
thing
in
is,
people's
the thing
world.
is, I think this is about to go left in a sense, because the reality is, my thing is this. I mean, we had a conversation up here about DMST, right? And we said, and matter of fact, you said it, that if we just gonna be some niggas that get together on Sunday and just do a podcast, then we could do that shit. I'm cool with that. But we need to be around and communicate more. That's what you said. So if we ain't communicating properly when it come to DMST, that's kind of contradicting. But then it's like it's being said that what I'm getting from it is like, y'all not valuable enough to me to communicate to y'all. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't communicate to nobody like that. Outside of the
No,
kids
and I'm not getting at you. But
I'm
we
just telling the
having
truth.
we
I don't
just
think
having a
nobody
real
getting
conversation.
nobody. I'm just telling the truth.
I just think we going to say this publicly. So I'm going to say it publicly. I take the L on this. We do a shitty job of communicating with each
We
other.
probably do at times.
Like we got it. And I'm not saying it to be a certain way. I mean, I value all of y'all. You know what I mean? We need to communicate better.
I don't think that's the issue. I don't think we all devalue each other up here or whatever. I guess I feel like we have roller coasters. I feel like we have times where we all good and we can all shoot some stuff back real quick or whatever. And then we got some times that we be down. I also feel like that's any relationship though.
And look,
to be quite honest about most things. And let's be honest. At the end of the day, I don't think damn four of us gonna go home and lay our heads on the pillow tonight and not sleep because Dev didn't text us back today or something
you know
like
what?
that.
It affects some other people differently than it do others. Everybody cut different, but I'm telling you, we you know what? Matter of fact, we gonna go past this. We have a conversation off the air, but I know for a fact that this shit affects people tremendously, because you got to realize the way you feel about somebody, it may not be as significant as others feel about you. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like some people really love you. You know what I mean? Like, so when you don't get that, you don't feel that camaraderie or you don't feel that reciprocation of different stuff, it affect people. Like it do. I'm just being real. Like, and I get it. We all grown. Look, at the end of the day, we all 40 plus, so we can do what we want to do.
I'm not 40
But all
plus.
I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day,
You got a few.
I just feel like we got. Look, and this ain't shitting or nothing like that. I just want us to do a better job personally as DMST, as far as just communicating with each other when it comes to DMST. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say about it, man.
Absolutely.
This the thing about life though. This is I mean because you said something and it's true.
Yeah.
I don't mince words. You know what I'm saying? So like, if we're gonna be in life, if you're gonna be a motherfucker that gets together on Sundays and do a pod, then let's do that.
Yeah.
And if that's what it is, then that's what it is.
Right.
I'm not gonna force interaction. I'm just not that person. I'm not cut like that. So unless it's genuine, unless somebody genuinely gives a fuck about a day to day, I'm not gonna force it.
Right.
There's nobody important enough, and with all due respect, outside of my kids and my immediate family, there's not a human on earth. My mama, there's nobody important enough for me to force interaction. It gotta be reciprocated interaction. So if there's no point for the interaction, I'm not just gonna randomly text a nigga about a funny video I saw.
Yeah, but
that's just not how I get down. So
Yeah, we don't-
it's
that-
not
that
gonna
ain't how we
happen like
roll.
that. I'm never gonna be that kind. I've never been that kind of nigga. And when I say that, I'm not mincing words. I'm not like saying it like and meaning something else. Yeah, if niggas is gonna be niggas to get together on Sundays and do pods, I'm cool with that. But let's be honest about it and let's do that then.
I guess it's the middle part of it, because it's like, yeah, we've talked about our shit a million times. Like, we don't sit during the whole week and be like, hey man, look at this video, so we gonna talk about this. And it's like that's one thing we don't do. I guess it's just, from when I'm here for everything that's on the top, it's just, I guess if it is something business related, like if we got to pull up for something on the Saturday, it's just, all right, maybe if it's on Wednesday, hey, who got this, who got that, or something like that. Like, that's the simple stuff. I think that's the simple thing. And I think for the most part, we all do a good part with that. Like, if we got to get some stuff done, some things like that, I mean, outside of those things, if it's just a little stuff, I mean, I don't know, but I agree that everybody does take things differently. I mean, look, like I said, I know I'm bad. I know there's times that I can get a message and I can be like, yo, it's just the next day. It's just not really always intentional. It just happens sometimes. But I also know what it's like when I send a message to somebody. It's like, oh shit, I ain't heard from motherfucking 3 days. All right, well, this is just what it's gonna be. And it's not even just people in this room. This is someone in general. If you send something to somebody, it's like, I was just trying to get an answer to this question or something like that. Even if you did call or text or something like that, and you just didn't get an answer sometimes. So it's just, I mean, it's just, I guess at the end of the day, we all can kind of do stuff a little differently, and to some extent. But I mean, you at least don't FaceTime me no more. She about to do it right now. She just got to be that person. But yeah, it's all good though.
Y'all, with all due respect, I'm not gonna do shit different. I'm just keeping
No, I mean, well, then at the end of the day, with that being said, I get that, bro. But then things got to be reevaluated how we move. I'm just be honest with y'all. Shit gonna have to be reevaluated how we move. And like you said, what's important and what's not important. We got to have a conversation. I'm gonna just say that we got to have a conversation.
Nah, I feel that. All right, y'all. We do need to be wrapping though, because it's about to be 9 o'clock. People got to eat.
Man, I'm starving.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. So, all right, y'all. Ulysses, give them all your shits.
Ulysses Dickerson on any social media platform _ EULISEDICKERSON on Instagram. It is public. My Facebook is private. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, you might want to send me a message. I have 4 shows in October. First one is October 8th. It'll be a Secret Society. It's a pop-up show, so the location will be given to me a week before the actual show, whatever. It's 11:30. Then I have another show October 12th at Funny Stop. Gonna be a fire-ass lineup. And then I have another show at Sam Silks on October 23rd. And then I have my Halloween show that I'm producing, booking, and executing. October 29th is going to be at Space 65. It's going to be a dope-ass show. So follow me for all updates, and feedback is welcome. And I will see you again.
All right. Playboy, give them all your shits.
At the end of the day, man, it's Playboy the DJ. Playboy DADJ. You can find me on Instagram, Playboy_James3. You can find me on Facebook under my government. If you know me, you know me.
They know you.
And like my daddy say, man, be yourself before you be by yourself, man.
All right, Dev, give them all your shits.
It's Dev, man. It's always trying to spread love in a world full of hate. Love y'all. If you don't love me back, it's cool. My mama do. My pops always say, do what needs to be done, whether you like it or not. It's Real Big Dev 216 everywhere, man.
Everywhere. All right, y'all.
All right, Brainstorm, give them all your shits.
Yeah, DMST16 at yahoo.com. Questions, comments, concerns, feedback, all that good shit. Thank y'all for tuning in this Sunday, and we'll catch y'all next Sunday. Same time, YouTube, man. So it may be cloudy today, but the sun will come out tomorrow. So as long as you are here under the sun, live your life to the best of your motherfucking ability. I am DJ Brainstorm for you on all social media. That is DJ Brainstorm, the number 4, the letter U. We out of here, y'all. Peace, y'all.